Hey, it's Henry here. Coming at you today with another Simon Fischer um, exercise, basically. This one is pretty simple, and it has to do with the scroll of the violin remaining still while you're vibrating. So you start off with, in whatever position you want, whichever finger you would like, and you do a very slow, narrow vibrato, making sure that the scroll remains still like this. Let's see if I can get it. So it's obviously not going to be completely still, but what you don't want is big movements. Obviously, that's going to disrupt your bow movement and everything like that. So what helped me with this is to kind of figure out, what's making it shake. And I took a look at my elbow. I don't know if you can see. My elbow's right here. The violin shakes. And if I slowly move it to about right here, and this is in third position, a D on the A string. The movement of the scroll stops, or more or less stops. So it significantly decreases. And this can be explained, I think, pretty simply just by the fact that the movement, which is always a forward movement, has to be parallel with the string and with the fingerboard. If it's parallel and everything's relaxed, you have a relaxed vibrato, and it's parallel to the string. This is going to help you with your bow control, especially at the frog. If you're at the frog playing and your violin is bouncing around, I mean, I've experienced this. I think a lot of people know what I'm talking about here. And all kinds of stuff going on there. So I found this to be quite interesting. And then I looked at shifting. How does this tie into shifting? Well, shifting is also a movement up parallel to the fingerboard. And as I was doing scales or arpeggios, either one, I've been noticing that when I shift, that there is a good amount of movement, or kind of a jerky motion with the scroll. People would probably say, don't worry about that. If it's really not affecting the bow, it's not a big deal. But I think it will affect, especially if you're playing fast, where your fingers really have to move quickly. And so this is something I'm trying to figure out right now. I think it also has to do a lot with the parallel motion. For example, if you're shifting from first to third position, you don't really need to move your elbow, right? You don't need to rotate your elbow around unless you have some big reach coming, or a fourth finger, but really in essence you just need to move parallel to the fingerboard. Now this gets a lot trickier once you're shifting to high positions, and for me, let's go back to vibrato. If vibrato, so you see a good amount of shake on the scroll here. What I'm working on and what I'm figuring out is that if you try to get my vibrato looser, and if I get a little bit more of a wrist vibrato motion in, it does stabilize the scroll to an extent. I will add that I've seen great soloists with vibrato, especially in high positions where the violin is shaking a lot. So even, I think if you have a fast bow and you're doing some one note, it's not a big deal. But where I think it will become problematic is here in the lower positions, is if when you're shifting and your violin moves around. So it's great to practice this with scales. You know, with scales, that's what I think that's the, you know, why do we do scales? Um, it's great to use scales to work on the basics, work on shifting, bow distribution, everything. So, well, I hope this is helpful. Happy practicing and have a nice day.